Hello, welcome back to the Really Drawn Through Model Railway. Today's episode we're going to continue working on around this lifting frame area and adding a bit more detail to what we've already got. So the first thing we're going to do is continue on with the hydraulic ram and the leg part coming down at the bottom. And looking at the photos, we've got what looks like a squared off plate again, similar to the top squared off plate with the ram sitting down, and then obviously the inner part of the ram sitting down below that. So for the ram part, it's quite simple. We just going to select the top profile. We just do extrude, and then what we can do is just drag that down, tell it to actually be a join. And now we can see on the diagram, this sort of finishes at this sort of height here. But looking at the photos, you can see this clearly goes down below the height of the base unit here. Unfortunately, none of the photos are really great. This one actually looks like it's sitting high, but obviously the ram is in a raised position. We'll try and find photos where there you go, that's probably about the best. So you can see the base here sits about where the centre line of the wheel is. So there's your centre line of the wheel down here. I would be tempted to bring that down to about 9.5 millimeters. So that's 9.5 millimeters from the top down. We can do a join on that, and then same as before, we can do the mirror. Select the mirror plane, which is mid plane 2. Object. We're going to do that extrusion. I should copy that down. Good. Okay, now we need to add on those plates similar to this here. So I'm going to draw a sketch on that surface. So we're using the surface of the plate here. And if we look at the photograph, let's go back. Those are actually going to be probably a little bit on the outside. So in fact, what we will do, if we finish that sketch, delete that. No, we're going to keep that because it's got to be in the same profile. We're going to keep that. Edit that sketch, and then we're going to draw just a rectangle shape at the bottom. Let's get back to this photo. So it's a rectangle shape, going to come down to the same position as the bottom of the ram here. So I'm going to that's actually snapped to roughly the right point. So I'm going to drag that down like this. Okay, so let's vertically horizontally constrain that to that plane there, to that there, and we'll do the same on this side, so that's going to snap to that corner there. I'm going to coincidence that to that line, so the top corner to that line, and I'm going to constrain that to the bottom surface there. And then we can extrude that back in, and 0.2 is the same as what we've got at the top, and then we tell it to join, and then we can mirror those features as well. So change that to feature, select extrusion, mirror plane, use that mirror plane there, catch up, and then do mirror again, and object being extrusion, the mirror, select the mid plane. This is going to be mid plane 3 this time, and that puts those across on both sides. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is these channels on this part here. Depending on what unit that you've got, there's got various different types. So there's one here on this side that's got just 3 U sections. This one's got like a little cross section across the top, and there's also some that have this diagonal panel. I don't think it really matters which one you want. For ease, I'm just going to go with the 3 upright sections. So let's turn off those, and I'm going to create a sketch on this front surface. It's going to use 2 rectangles essentially, like that, and another one like that. Let's dimension these. I'm going to go thickness. I'm going to go for 0.15, I think. That side, same on that side. Wait a minute. I need to drag that in, and put another one in the middle. Dimension there to there as 0.15, and the same on this one. Okay, now what we've got to try and work out is an even length for these. So to do that, I'm going to do inspect, use that to there. That's 1.2 minus the 0.3, which would be these two bits here. So that's 0.9, so these should be, we dimension all these as 0.3. That one should also be not, we won't let me do it. Okay, you see it's 0.3 as well, so that's fine. So we're going to extrude these. This needs to come up. Needs to go up to that height there. Let's project that line and just draw a couple of extra rectangles on the top. Where's that not lined? Project that. So there. To there. Select all of these profiles and then extrude that. I'm going to come back 0.3 as a cut and then mirror it again using the same idea. Mirror, midplane there. Okay, let's move into these top bits up here. I'm assuming these are some sort of sensor or a bracket for all the pipes that go into the top of the RAM here. So we're going to come into Fusion and I'm going to draw a sketch on the top circle surface here. We've already got the center point there, so if we draw, I'm just going to draw a rectangle across like this, and I'm going to midpoint that side there to the midpoint circle. And if we look at the position, we might need to drag that back slightly actually, and have a smaller piece on the end. But that's, you know, I've guessed there come forward. That's pretty much the correct length at that point. 0.85. And I'm just going to add another extra rectangle up here, so we've still got that midpoint snapped on. Let's go 0.15 there. Select those and extrude them vertically. So I'm coming up 0.3 millimeters. That side's not really a great drawing for that. I'm going to just do a simple box across the top, I think. Again, drawing a sketch on that top surface. Go from that corner across. And how far it needs to come. About that point. There. Unfortunately, it's in line with that line. There. Okay. Let's dimension that 1.75. So I'm dimensioning it with this grid that we've got here to be on the same end. Select those two profiles and we're going to extrude that up 0.2, I think. Okay. And we'll draw this bracket dropping down. Now it's not on the end, it's slightly set back. Then drawing on that inside surface, a rectangle again. I'm just going to draw it something like that. And then we'll give it a width of 0.2 for some strength, and then extrude that. Don't need that, it needs a bit more width there. Edit the sketch. Let's go for 0.3 meters. Okay, it's not far off. I'm going to draw just another rectangle again. So we're going to create a sketch on that inside surface. Slice through so we can actually see what we're looking at. Create a rectangle. Let's go for 0.5 millimeters in height to start with. It's actually not too bad actually, height wise. I'm going to extrude towards the inside by 0.2 and then across the model towards the outside by 0.7. Make sure they're both joined. Okay, I'm assuming that's some sort of sensor there, but that all works for me. Looks something similar. It's not. I'm not looking for perfection there because this is a tiny little part. And if I go too detailed, it won't print, unfortunately. Mirror that across on plane 2. Okay, that's those ideas. Okay, so I'm going to come down to the bottom now. I'm going to put the bottom of the ram in. So we're going to create a sketch on the bottom here. Just use the circle, centre point circle. I'm going to do a ram that's going to be slightly smaller than that. So we've got 1.2. So we could probably go something like maybe a millimetre. Maybe a, yeah, no, we'll go for a millimetre. And we can extrude that downwards. We turn the canvas on. We can see the wheel height is going to be here, so we don't want to come down too far because it's got to be above the height of the wheels when we've got the foot on it. Which maybe means we need to come up a little bit on this. Let's come down a millimetre, and I'm going to just go back into this part. That extrusion there. In fact, what I'll do is just go back in the history there before that sketch. Just take that and extrude back up. I'm going to take a millimetre off that. Jump back forwards in the history. Redefine the sketch plane for that. That's the base of that. Okay, so we'll do the same on this side. Just take that and take a millimetre off. Okay, so we've got this sticking at the bottom. We can mirror that over. Mirror features. Feature mirror plane will be plane 2. So what I could have done is really I could just split this model in two and done all the work on one side and mirrored the whole thing over. It's just showing you a different way of doing it really. Okay, so we've got that on there. And if we look at the feet, now it depends on the feet, its position, whether it's all the way up, all the way down, but sometimes it sort of droops down, and there's other photos. where it's retracted all the way like this, where it's actually sitting flush, and that's got this raised all the way up. So I'm going to have that sort of droop because I just think that looks a little bit interesting, but you could have it flat if you wanted. So what I'll do is we're going to create a sketch on this front face. And I'm going to go for a 3-point rectangle. I'm going to sort of start here, down like that, something like that. Let's dimension at the wrong angle, so delete that. Try and match there. So 0.25. The length, 2 meters, and then the dimension from that point here. So distance away, we'll go for 0.75. Dimension again, that direction, 0.3. And then extrude that, spin around to that side, join. Excellent. And then I'm going to do another sketch on the side of this. And if we look at sort of the shape of it, it's like an arch going over the top with a curved part underneath. So to do that, if we do a 3-point rectangle again, start like that, go for 0.9 is its length, make sure it snaps to that one, we'll bring it up to 0.7. I'm wondering about maybe making this foot a little bit longer. Finish that sketch, edit this to 2.5, increase this to 0.55 just to move it back in a little bit. Go back to editing this one. What we're going to do is use midpoint. So we're using the midpoint of this bottom rectangle to the midpoint of this main part. That snaps into the middle. And then what we can do is use tangent arc. No, that's not what I want to do. Let's try fillet actually. If we fillet that to 0.45, fillet that to 0.45 as well. Okay, so to get this arc in, I'm going to draw a line here, 0.25 long. Same on this side. Then we're going to do tangent arc over there to there, there to there. Okay. So now I've got this as profile, select these three and extrude those like this. I'm going to come back 0.45, tell it to join. Cool. And then we'll mirror this across. That's the mirror plane. Yep. And then mirror plane will be plane 3. And then we'll do the same mirror. So we need to get feet way over here, so we need that, and that. Mirror plane being the centre point here. Okay, so I think I'm going to put a small bolt coming through there. draw a sketch on the side here. And I'm just going to draw it as a circle. Find the midpoint, drag that out to, I'm going to go for about 0.4. Select that in the middle, extrude. Come through this side, that's going to be 1.5. So let's do two-sided extrusion. So you want 1.4, 1.5. I'm going to add that to another 0.5 to that. And this one will come up by 0.2. That join. Okay. And then we'll mirror that across as well. So I'm pretty pleased how that's coming on so far. I think this episode's been about 20 minutes or so, so I'm going to leave it at this point here. Hope you've been able to follow along and create your own version of this. And, thanks for watching.